joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am joined by the amazing Crystal Spence. She is a loan officer at Absolute Home Mortgage Corp. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, Crystal. The majority of us accidentally stumbled across this wonderful mortgage industry, but we stay in the industry because it's tied to our personal and professional why. Crystal, we would love to hear, what is your why?
So I would say I have more than one.
Yes.
First and foremost, I would say myself in a selfless way. Being able to evolve helps me be able to help my family, put them in a better position, not only financially, but also with life lessons to be able to help sustain themselves better. And then the other reason would be to help people. I love to help people. I love to see other people evolve and, create generational wealth. Anything that I can do, in a positive way. I love to see it. I love to see people grow.
That is fabulous. So Crystal, let me go back a step. How did you come into the industry?
So I came into the industry initially through my own real estate investing. Yes, just wanting to be able to create more real estate wealth for myself. And it just so happened that I met somebody within the industry that actually helped me get involved with the loans and things like that. And I wanted to have more control over my scenario. So that actually helped me. I learned the ins and outs of why things are the way they are. It helped me evolve in order to help somebody else as well. So
that's fantastic. How long have you been doing it?
I would say going on 2 years now.
Wow. So you're newer.
Yeah.
I mean, well, especially when I think what was happening 2 years ago. 2 years ago was during COVID and a lot of change that was happening within the industry. So you came in during a time when, there was a lot of chaos happening, whether it was from external factors or the fact that the interest rates were very low and so many people were trying to buy. There was so many things happening during that period of time. So I want to ask you a sidebar question. So, okay, you came in during that time. You've seen all this change happening. Now we're in another cycle, right? Now, of course, the interest rates have gone up a little bit. It's calmed as far as the refinances. The purchases are still there, but it's evolving. Again, things are changing. What are your thoughts now that you've seen this evolution? You've been used to that word evolve, where's this evolution of change that's happened over these last couple of years? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like there's a lot of highs and a lot of lows.
That sums up the mortgage industry right there.
I just think that I think that you have to prepare. I didn't know what to expect. When I came in, it was like one after the other. Oh, great. I'm doing great. It's a new, job. Great. I'm being successful, and then all of a sudden, boom, it just completely slowed down, and then you're looking for your next client or trying to help somebody do something, and it just completely slowed down. I won't say shut down, but it did.
It
definitely
changed.
a shock. Yes.
It was a change. So I'm going to ask you what's normally my third question, but because we're on this track, so now you've been doing this a couple of years. What would be your advice to someone new coming into the industry based on you watching the high and, of course, the change? I'm not going to say the low, but the change in the industry over these last couple of years. What would be your advice of something you would share with someone else?
I would say definitely know your craft. Become very knowledgeable in the guidelines. They're always changing. This industry is ever evolving in that way. Nothing is ever the same. And then also with that, find a team that has the same goals that you do. Do your work with integrity and honesty. This way you can help more people.
That's very good advice. Number one, you are right. I make a running joke sometimes about our industry that, if we were doctors, you would hope that we are constantly learning, the latest techniques and the latest tools and the latest, new things that are happening. Because heck, if you were going to operate on my family, I would want to make sure that you knew that. But sometimes in our industry, you find that people get stuck in, well, I've always done this, whatever this box is, right?
Right.
And they kind of just keep doing the same box and they keep doing the same box. But our industry is ever evolving, and you have to continue to adapt, and you have to continue to open yourself up to not just do this box, but this one and this one and this
Mhm.
one, and really knowing your craft, being a professional, right? Because sometimes it's this is a profession, and this is, we're giving people advice. We're guiding them on the biggest purchase they will ever have, the biggest debt they'll ever have in their lives, right? But on the other note, you had said it earlier when you opened up, you spoke about generational wealth. And that's something that's so special to me, because I think sometimes we don't realize the impact that we have on the families that we serve. So I'd like to ask you that next question. Give me a story, because we all have those stories, right? Give me a story of where you felt that impact that you had on a family that you worked with.
So yes, actually it was just a couple of months ago. It was a young woman who was a single mom. Her story is very similar to my own. So just that alone, I just really, really wanted to help her, so I know the feeling, I know the trials and tribulations and, different things that you go through in that, because you've walked that path already, right? I have. So, with that being said, it was her very first home purchased. And it took quite a few months. As you know, this past year has been crazy with people, working on getting contracts accepted and everything else.
Yeah.
And there was like a lot of highs and lows with that. I just stayed positive with her, and, I just kept her focused, and, I purely educated her on the mortgage industry so that she could help herself and also help her daughter. I think that's something that you need to do, because, you never know why something, why an underwriter needs this or that, or why are they asking me for all these things? And for me to explain that to her, it made her more knowledgeable and help her understand to get me things faster. It was just such a good situation. I feel so blessed just to be able to help somebody achieve, something that took me so long to do myself, at a bit of an earlier pace for her. So yeah, and she was very thankful, very grateful, but I felt like more grateful just to be able to be involved,
Wow.
be able to help somebody like that.
Wow. And you changed everything. You
Yeah.
changed, let's start with her. You changed how she sees herself, because when you own that home and she purchased it on her own, right? And was able to do that for her daughter, she immediately sees herself as being strong, as being the provider, to being that great mom, right? So right there, you changed her. Then you changed her daughter, because now her daughter, number one, she already had all that respect and so proud of her mom, but now she's at a whole nother level. And she looks at, well, you become a homeowner. When you grow up, you go to school or you go and get that job and you do your whatever you're doing and you save and you become a homeowner, because in her mind, that's what happens in the future. She doesn't even think about going and renting. You go and you become a homeowner. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. That's in her mind. That's how she views it.
Right.
And that generational wealth of, maybe when that daughter's going off to college or getting married or whatever it is, well, then there's equity in that home, and there's the ability to utilize that, right? For future things that are happening. It's a safety net. It could be the retirement plan for that woman, right? Who knows? But everything in her entire life changed because you took her by the hand and guided her and answered her questions and kept her positive when
Yeah.
she was in those low points and she thought, nope, I give up. I
Yeah.
can't take another rejection, right? I can't.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
did that. You did that. And that's why I love our industry so much. And that's why I love hearing these stories, because I want everybody every day to remember how much of a gift it is for us to be doing what we do.
It definitely is a gift. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Crystal, you are a gift, and we thank you so much for
Aw.
sharing your insights. We're happy that you came into the industry. You got a long career ahead of helping many, many families. We're
Yes.
thankful for you. Continued success and all the best always.
Thank you so much. Same to you.